Hey guys, this is Sindrain, with my second episode of Thaumcraft. Now there's two things I'm going to be doing in this episode. One is showing you where I'm at and showing and telling you guys what I'm going to be doing with the rest of my Thaumcraft series. And second is going to be, I'm going to run through all the aspects and what items you need for those aspects. So I'll just be doing an aspect rundown and a future of this series. Alright, so first I'll just show you guys what I've done. I've leveled out my area, which is mostly cracked sand. So I moved into a desert and I have changed it into just a random dirt player, and I have put great wood trees all around my entire area, and done the inner area of silverwood trees to make these. To make that's just a magic node, an aura node, and as you can see, it looks trippy as hell. But it's just gathering around flux, which is why silverwood trees are awesome. They make nodes. I've got another one here, but it's not gathering any flux because it's not in a dangerous area, as you can see down in my left hand corner, which is a cool little device which I'll show you guys how to make in the later series. Okay, now what I'm going to do with this series is I'm just going to ask you guys to comment on this video on what in Thaumcraft you would like to learn, because I have pretty much learnt it all. It's all here. I've researched everything except for two remaining cores, but they're the ones you don't really need much. Strong and intelligent ones, the main cores that you'll be using. You don't need perception and speed that much. So I've only got the two main cores, but I'll cover all that in Golemancy when you guys ask for that. But I have learnt everything, therefore I can teach you pretty much everything. But for that, I'll just get you guys to ask what you want to learn. This way you'll get a shout out, because I'll pop up your comment on the screen and link it to your channel. So to get you guys more involved, see what you guys want to learn. These are my little golems, which I have protecting my front gate, which is really cool. Alright, I'm going to show the inside. I've coated the front area with a few heads of my enemies. I'm going to show you cool. These doors, they look different mainly because they are Thaumcraft doors. They can only be opened by me and people who I give keys to. But basically it's indestructible, and if I want, I could be the only person who enters this room, which is nice and cool. Now, as you can see, I have been gaming a fair bit, and I have a lot of new stuff from the first episode where I've just did that corner there. I didn't even have that there, but like, I just did a main setup, and this episode I have, well, finished. I've got my infernal furnace here, which is really cool. Pumping into a hungry chest. Hungry chest goes down into my sorting system down there, and over here I just have macerator, canning machine, bat box, and a generator. That's all you need. That's like literally the entire of GregCraft that you'll be doing in Thaumcraft, or Tekkit, or some of this stuff is in Tekkit, but that's GregCraft there. The macerator is GregCraft in Feed the Beast, and so is the canning machine, but the bat box and the generator are still from Tekkit. So yep, that's some cool things that I can teach you guys how to make. Some cool crystals. Those just make my infernal furnace smelt faster. Got my library over here, which is almost complete. So I've been enchanting, and over here I have my delivery system. Those are portable holes. I can throw things to another player. Here we are. I'll throw a few cans of food, and that will teleport to her base. Oh, to whoever's base I've got that link to, and it'll land in their hungry chest, which I've given them. And, oh, she sent me a few things. A couple of amber, torchberries, Carrot, corn, wispy essence, always handy. But yeah, so whatever you want to learn, just put it in a comment down below and I shall teach. Now please probably leave Golemancy to last or for a later episode. Don't ask for that one straight up, simply because there is a lot to cover in Golemancy and I would like to do it all in one big go. Just throw all of the Golemancy into one huge video, because that's, well, a lot. Got to start you with making cores, then making. I would like to go through each of the golems, show you what they do, and all the different cores. So there's a lot to cover in Golemancy, so don't ask for that one first, because that's going to take a fair bit of resources for me to set up. But yep, alright, first bit is done. Just ask what you want to know, and I will teach. More heads of my enemies. So, the second part of this video is I'm just going to go through the aspects. Now, this is going to be tedious and boring, and full of spoilers. If you want to figure out what items give you what aspect, then by all means, don't watch from now on. Just leave a comment saying what you want to learn, and that's it. Just leave this video, because if you want to figure out this by yourself, then you don't need to watch the rest of this video. But I'm just going to be covering the aspects, i.e. what items we'll research into. So what covers what. And I'm just going to be doing, pop them up on the screen so you can see, you can have a read. Don't have to listen to me, and I could be saying half of these words completely wrong because they're mostly in Latin. So, I've got to put another knittle there. Wait. Well, I can come later. But yeah, no. This is my setup. And I've probably already said that. That's all good. So, I'm going to start with my list I've made. Alright, going to start with something simple, and that is Ignis. Ignis is, well, fire, which is nice and easy. We'll start with something simple. And a lot of things contain fire. Gunpowder, Knit-Ore, light sort, like my Knit-Ore, these contain Ignis, but torches don't. But coal is, I think, is the best. Coal has 2 Ignis, so it's a little bit higher than some of the standard ones, and you get a lot of coal. Coal is everywhere. So it's high resource and number, and it gives you a nice amount of Ignis. So it is a good place to start. For Ignis, a few other things. The best thing is TNT, but you need a lot to make TNT. So TNT has 16 Ignis, so that's huge. So if you need a lot of Ignis and you've got TNT handy, use it, and you don't need it. But coal is, I reckon, is going to be the base resource for this aspect. But hey, that's just me, right? Some people use gunpowder. I've got gunpowder out the wazoo from memory. 35 there. I've got a stack somewhere else. And gunpowder is 4. So there's a few other things, depends on what you have, but I think coal is going to be your base. Next thing will probably be gunpowder, and those are probably your 2 aspects for Ignis, which is fire. Okay, next we have Saxon, which is rock. Now, this one's very, very, very simple. Cobblestone. It has 1 rock, or Saxon, if you will, and, well, cobblestone's goddamn everywhere. You'll have stacks and stacks and stacks of it, therefore a lot of it to use. You'll have spares everywhere, and it's there. A few other things. Obsidian has 5 rock, Saxon, and a furnace has 6. So I don't know, if you have to use 8 rocks just to get 6 rocks, I'd probably just stick with using cobblestone. It sounds so much cheaper. But hey, got a spare furnace, want to use it? Use it, go for it. Okay, now what else we got? We've got Tenebrous, which is Eclipse. Obsidian has one, Inksec has one, Endstone has one, and I also do believe, yep, your Dark Zykurum has two. So you have very little, well, you have lots of uses for Zykurums, but Tenebrous, you don't actually. I have yet to research anything into it, and I've finished it, so it's, for me, is something that I would imagine is going to come out later. Later in the game, they're going to bring something in, some more cool stuff, and from there, we'll find out what that is when, well, we find out. But yeah, at the moment, early game, probably Inksax has Tenebrous as well, but Dark Zykurum you'll have copious amounts of, and it codes for 2, so if you do need Tenebrous, you will be using your Dark Zykurums. Next one I'm going to do is Lux. Lux is light, so anything that gives off light, from torches to your aluminium torches to your sulfur torches to your Nitor, they all have Lux, and another Zykurum, which is Light Zykurum. So it has 2 Lux. You'll be using a lot of Light Zykurums, which is why I only have one, because I've been using a lot of them for lighting up the place. You need Nitor for a few other things as well. But Lux, brightness, brighter day, so anything that represents that, everything that gives off light, lanterns, will have a Lux. But I reckon your two main sources of Lux will be Light Zykurums and torches, because they're both very simple to get your hands on. And next one we've got Loganum. Sounds really bad, doesn't it? But no, that's it's trees. So i.e. logs, you'll be finding most of the... have we got some? Yeah, we got jungle wood. But yeah, there it is, Loganum, wood forest tree. So basically, anything you'll make out of this will have a general Loganum aspect. Like, here we go, what we got? Pressure plate, yep. Pressure, yeah, see it loses 1. Stuff like, here we are, just a general workbench, crafting table. That has, there we are. Just make one, because I can. But it has, yeah, 3 Loganum. So pretty much anything you'll make out of wood will have Loganum. So, and wood's another high resource, so you'll have wood out the wazoo. So Loganum will be there, and you do use it for a fair few things in Magic and Bees. Okay, next one is Vecttis, which is, well, this one's fairly easy. It is stuff like chests. Yeah, what we got? Make one here. It's anything that can store something. So there we are, 4. It's that spiral-looking one. Oh, wrong one. Vecttis, empty, void, you know. All the good fun stuff. So crystal fails are also another good one that has that, and you can make a lot of them and use that for your Vecttis research. This is also another high aspect which you'll be using a lot of. It's in a lot of things, and you're going to need a lot of it, so get used to seeing that in Vecttis symbol. Another few other things that can be used for Vecttis. We've got pulverized lead, and just normal lead also has Vecttis for some unknown reason. But hey, lead has a use. There we are, isn't that brilliant? I think that's awesome. Right, now after Vecttis we have Purus, which is goblet, i.e. sort of high valuable stuff. Oh, don't worry about that. My place just randomly sets itself on fire when it does. Which is there. There we are, 4. Chalice. Diamond will be your high thing, but Charis is expensive, precious, valuable. There you go. Gold's also another good one for this. Ender Pearl. Glass is going to be your cheap, so just glass will also have Charis, apparently. Why don't I believe that? I don't believe it. I'm going to have a look. I have yet to use it. Yeah, no. So this wiki's wrong. Yes, I am using a wiki. Why? Because, well, if I had to remember this off the top of my head, I'd be sitting here going, which I am anyway, but I'll be doing it at least 5 times more. And actually that knocks us on to our next one anyway, so yep, Charis is expensive, Gold is another one that I know has it. You won't be using much of this. I think I've only done 2 things that has Charis in it. I can't even remember what they were. But another thing that Diamond has, which is our next one, is Purus, which is pure, clean stainless. Diamond, by the looks of that one, is very, very high in Purus. But another few things that you'll have a lot of is Silverwood. Silverwood has, if you're any good, you'll be chopping down every single Silverwood tree you have, and hopefully get a sapling. But from all that extra Silverwood, you will be wanting to keep it for Purus. There's a few things that have Purus. Yeah, see, look, I've got stacks and stacks of the stuff because I've cut down every single Silverwood tree I've got my hands on. Stacks and stacks. Yeah, see, that also is very high in Purus and Lugnum. So yeah, all wood will have Lugnum, but yeah, it also has Purus as well. So that's really cool. Another few things, Nether Star, which you'll never ever use for research, so don't even bother. Silverwood Leaves, and Refined Iron. Refined Iron, if you can't get your hands on the Silverwood log, will most likely be your main source of Purus. But like I said, I think I've only used it for about 3 or 4 research aspects. So you won't need too much of it. Next thing we've got is Vitreous Crystals, which, well, you will always have Zycurums, and hey, look at that, a use for dark Zycurums. Well, you know, glass, crystal, gem, and transparent. Glass will have it, you know, your normal gems, rubies, emeralds, the whole whiz bang kaboo. Crystals, i.e. your Zycurums, and glass, well, it's already said that, so glass is there. So this is another thing you'll be using a lot of. A lot of your aspects will, well, a lot of your research will include that aspect. So I recommend using any spare Zycurums if you got, because you'll most likely have stacks and stacks and stacks of them. So just use the Zycurum for that, because you'll need it. And yeah, what else have we got here? Fabrico. Right, Fabrico, which is anvil in the Latin language, for create, construct, work. I just generally make crafting tables because, well, it's worth 4 Fabrico and it's just 4 wood to make a crafting table. So you can mass produce them if you need, and when you research into it, that's a fair bit of research. 4, if it's a successful, will give you, you know, at least, you know, 25 to 30% of that research each time it works. So that's fairly high. So I use crafting tables, but there's a few other things like steel, which is hard to get your hands on if you're jumping straight into Thaumcraft and not any of the other. I think Industrial Craft makes steel. And, well, I don't know, crafting tables are just so much more simpler. So for Fabrico, I would be using crafting tables if I were you. Right, now we've got Vecttis, which is shattered rock. Now, it's got a few other things that can make this. It's a bit weird. We've got cobblestone. Once again, probably the main one you'll be using, simply because you've got lots and lots and lots of it. But there's a few other things, if you've got handy. Furnaces also have it, and they're fairly high too, so that's 6. There's other things like gunpowder, TNT, because gunpowder blows up, so therefore Vecttis, which is destruction, and same with TNT. Elementium also has it, but why would you use that? Another thing is your red Zirconium also has Vecttis too, so if you need to do it and you don't have cobblestone handy because you've made your entire place out of it or whatnot, and red Zirconium is 2 Vecttis, so that's pretty good. It's another use for a Zirconium instead of wasting the cobblestone, if you think that way. Next we've got Metallum. Metallum is just metal, so by the Lords, anything that's made of metal, well, not except for tin cans, because apparently you can't use tin, but, you know, tin ingots, copper ingots, iron, refined iron, silver, gold, has Metallum value. I use iron, because in Feed the Beast, copper and tin, they've dropped the spawn rates, and iron has been raised. Therefore, iron is everywhere, and it's high. It's worth 8. So you will be using that one a lot, I'd say, for Metallum. And Metallum, oh no, it's used in a few research. So you'll be using iron a lot for Metallum, I would say. And also anything that's made out of metal, like you know, if you make your armor, thaumium even. See, check it out. My gear made out of thaumium, and Metallum is just that metal block there. That's that first one. So the armor's very high in Metallum because you use a lot of metal to make it. Iron is worth 8, so if you make a chest of 8, you'll get 51. Because it does drop for certain items, like how you saw I made a table. Each one of these is worth 2, yet I made a table which is only worth 3, and that used 4 wood. So there is some deterioration when you make stuff in what it's worth in its original aspect, but anything else, it just goes on. Now we've got Imperius. Sounds interesting. It's, well, it stands for marionette. You would have also heard that in Harry Potter, as Imperius is the Imperius curse, even. So, yeah, it just means control. Oh, here it is. Where we go? Imperius. Control, command, dominate. So, as you can see, blue Zirconium is what I actually go to for this. A few other things, it would be levers, so they're nice and cheap. Rubber, I wouldn't be wasting rubber on such thing, and same with Magna Cream and slide balls. They all have Imperius, but all of those other ones are resources you'll be using for other things. So I would say your 2 main ones you'll be using for Imperius are your blue Zirconium and levers. Mainly because levers control, you know, your engines and your pipes when you put them next to them and stuff, so that's a form of control, therefore it has that aspect. Alright, now let's go to Mashina, which just stands for cogs. Actually, do I have anything on me with it? I don't think so. Ooh. No, I don't. Alright, well that is Mashina. We've got redstone lamp, redstone torch also does, redstone itself. I should have mountains of stuff. So redstone, I would say, would probably be your main one. There we are, Mashina. Mechanism, machine, device. Redstone is used for a lot of things, redstone power sources, you know, redstone engines, the whole whiz-bang kaboo, but for researching it I would probably suggest using redstone because it's plentiful, and that's 2's not bad, that's not bad. And pressure plates and buttons also have, here we are, Pressure plate. Pressure plate's a mechanism because it opens your door when you, or whatever you sit next to when you step on it, and as well as a button because a button controls things. But yeah, I would probably suggest if you don't have redstones to make a lot of pressure plates for it, but if you've done a dig, you'll most likely have come across redstone, and if you've got enough of it, use it for your Mashina. It's used in a few, so you will be using that one every now and then. And that actually leads us into our next one anyways, which is Potentia, which is power, energy, and strength. Like I said before, redstone is used for a redstone power source. When you make that, just placing redstone on the ground next to a redstone lamp gives it a redstone power source. Well, redstone signal, I'm sorry. People are going to yell at me for that. That's another one, but what I usually use for that one is, where on earth is my Nicolite? Are you kidding me? Are you telling me all my Nicolite is down in my sorting room? It is. Nicolite. Nicolite, well, it doesn't really have much of a use in FTB because they've taken out, well, equivalent exchange, therefore you can't use like a stack to get several diamond, because you don't use it for anything else, but it is a good source of Potentia. So, Nicolite, I would say, would be your best one for Potentia. Other things are uranium, steel dust, Nitor, and coal also has Potentia. So I reckon your main ones will be either redstone, Nicolite, or coal in those ones, because they're nice, cheap, and coal will be your cheapest one. But remember, while using that for researching, it could also push itself into Ignis, and it's the same with this one. But you'll most likely find Potentia is used. I think I came across that one about 50 to 60% of the time. So yeah, Potentia is fairly used in research, which is good. Okay, now we've got solemn, which is TNT, is fairly high in it. Clay block, brick stairs, sandstone, and sandstone slab. I don't remember using much actually. Why do I have... Yeah. Dirt. How did I forget that? I really did. I literally just totally forgot. Serves me right from reading from the wiki. But, yep. Solemn. Earth. Soil, ground, foundation. So, what do you know? If you've got lots of dirt, you'll be using dirt for this one, I would imagine, because dirt is also everywhere, and you'll most likely have stacks and stacks and stacks. So, solemn is used, yeah, from memory. You use it not a lot, but a fair enough to remember that one. Dirt would be your main go to that, but sandstone and clay also have that because it's made from earth. Now we have, how do I pronounce this one? Gleam. Snowflake, we'll just call it Snowflake. Which, well, it's nice and easy ice if you can get your hands on it. But, what I use, if I have any left, because I don't have any left. You're absolutely kidding me, right? No, I've got to have some left. There we are, snowballs. Go around with the shovel, get yourself some snowballs. Now, it's mainly used, gleam, cold ice frost. Ice, if you can get hold of ice, which I don't think you can anyways, but, and snowballs. Snowballs is what I used. You know, find yourself a snowy biome and go crazy. Get yourself a few stacks because everyone likes throwing snowballs, but hey, there you go. It's used, I think I used it about 3 times in my research aspect. Most of it was for my my water wand, my frost wand. Wand of Frost, because, well, it's frost, and that's frost, so why the hell not? That also leads us to our next one, which is aqua. Aqua is, well, water, would you believe it or not? But, yeah, lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff have it. It says here Wispy Essence does, but I do imagine some Wispy Essence, as you can see, the different coloured ones have different things, but what's another good thing for this? Boats. Yeah. Boats. There we are. It has 4 aqua. Water fluid. Oh, it's even got 2 in the corner, so I do believe that stands for 6. But yeah, there we are, aqua. So lots of things have that. Bucket of water, if you want to use bucket of water. I would probably end up using a boat, because you have wood out the wazoo, and why the hell not? Boats are cool. Only reason to make them is to use them for research. I have never used a boat for anything else, but you will be using it a lot. A few other things, bookshelf, sugarcane. Sugarcane's fairly cheap, and paper, but you know, you make paper out of sugarcane, so just stick with the sugarcane. So yeah, so that's aqua, water.